Welcome to the program of Bachelor of Sciences second year, subject Botany Core, semester 4, course code BOC 104, course title Plant Physiology. Title of the Unit 5, Photosynthesis, module name Photorespiration. Myself, Dr. Ms. Nisha Kevat, Assistant Professor in Department of Botany of DPM Sri Mallika Arjun and Sri Chetan Manju Desai College, Delem, Kankona, Goa. Coming to the outline, in this PPT, we will cover the definition of photorespiration, background of photorespiration, occurrence, facts, process, and also the factors affecting the photorespiration. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, students will be able to define the photorespiration. They will know about the history, occurrence, and effects of the photorespiration, and also understand the process of photorespiration. Definition of photorespiration. Photorespiration is a special type of a respiration by the plants when they are exposed to the light. It is just like the respiration wherein the plant takes up the oxygen and releases out the carbon dioxide. But in this case, a mechanism is little varied because it occurs mostly in response to the high light intensities. Here, the atmospheric molecular oxygen serves as a substrate for the rubisco. A rubisco is a major enzyme which is involved in the Calvin cycle, and in this case, rubisco is the first enzyme that will facilitate the oxygenation reaction which will lead to the photorespiration. In this picture, we can see here there is a plant which releases a higher amount of the carbon dioxide when the oxygen concentration is higher in the presence of the light. 2-carbon phosphoglycolate is formed which enters the photorespiratory carbon oxidation cycle with subsequent release of the carbon dioxide and the ammonia. And whole process of photorespiration is accomplished in the 3 different organelles, that is chloroplast, peroxisomes and mitochondria. Coming to the background of the photorespiration, there was a scientist called as Gleb Krotko. He coined the term photorespiration based on his studies which he conducted on the plant. He saw that when the plant was exposed in the dark, the release of the carbon dioxide was relatively lesser, but when the same plant was exposed to the high light intensity under the high oxygen concentration, he observed that carbon dioxide released by the plant was much greater as compared to the amount of carbon dioxide released in dark. And he coined the entire process as a photorespiration. Coming to the occurrence of the photorespiration. So where exactly and which category of the plant do the photorespiration is usually seen? Photorespiration is usually seen in a C3 plant and not seen in C4 plant. So it occurs in a plant with high carbon dioxide compensation point. Example, tomato, wheat, oats and chlorella. Carbon dioxide compensation point is basically a point at which the amount of the carbon dioxide used by the plants during the photosynthesis and amount of the carbon dioxide released by the plant during the respiration is same or is balanced. That is called as a carbon dioxide compensation point, and it do not occur in a plant with a low carbon dioxide compensation point. Example, maize, sorghum, sugarcane, etc. Some of the facts about the photorespiration. Glycolate, which is also referred as a glycolic acid, is the chief metabolite of photorespiration, and also it serves as a substrate. In the process of photorespiration, amino acids like glycine and serine are also formed. It is an oxidative process where oxidation of the glycolate occurs with a subsequent release of the carbon dioxide, which is a wasteful process. Photorespiration takes place in the 3-cell organelle, that is chloroplast, peroxisomes and mitochondria. This is just briefly describes the entire process of the photorespiration, that is chloroplast, peroxisomes and mitochondria. So the part of the photorespiration process that takes place in the chloroplast. As we can see here, this is the RUBP, ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate, which is actually accepts the carbon dioxide, but as the oxygen concentration increases, rubisco facilitates the oxygenation of the RUBP, which leads to the formation of the 2-phosphoglycolate. This is the first stable compound that is formed during the photorespiration, and therefore it is also called as a C2 cycle. Then this 2-phosphoglycolate is dephosphorylated. That means From here, the phosphor is taken out and it leads to the formation of the glycolate. This glycolate is transferred into the peroxisomes. This glycolate is converted into the, again it is transferred into the peroxisome. You can see here, this is by accepting the oxygen, it gets converted into the glyoxylate. This glyoxylate then converted into the glycine in the peroxisome. This glycine is transferred into the mitochondria. Glycine is converted to the serine in the mitochondria, and the converted serine is shifted back into the peroxisome. From the serine, hydroxypyruvate is formed, which is in turn converted into the glycerate, and glycerate is sent back to the chloroplast, and then it is converted into the 3-phosphoglycerate, which is utilized for the Calvin cycle. And while doing the conversion of a glycerate to the 3-phosphoglycolate, ATP is consumed, and this is the cost that photorespiration has to pay. So it is an inefficient method or a wasteful method. Factors affecting photorespiration. There is a chemical compound called as a alpha hydroxysulfonate, which proves to be inhibitory on a photorespiration. Another observation is, whenever there is a high oxygen concentration, the photorespiration rate will be greater. Whenever carbon dioxide concentration is less, the photorespiration rate will be goes down or it decreases down. These are the references.